Hey everybody, welcome to Fantastic Comics Presents. We're going to talk about Superboy Prime today, and I needed a little help, so I have a guest. Stick around, we're going to get to it right after these videos. This one first.
Hi, it's John Romita Jr. at San Diego Comic-Con. Fantastic Comics in Berkeley is the best shop in the world, hands down.
That's T-C.
It's been 3 long years, do ya still want me? If I don't see a ribbon round the old oak tree, I'll stay on the bus, forget about us, put the blame on me.
Did you know that every 7 minutes a black person is born in this country without soul? Hello, I'm B.B. King. Won't you help Don Simmons and the thousands of others that suffer from this tragic disorder? Its cruel symptoms can strike anyone. Let's take a look.
I think the Republican Party has done one heck of a job. Don't you, June?
I'll say, Ward, we Republicans have turned this country around.
Safety and good mileage are the two things I looked for in a new car. That's why I bought a Volvo station wagon.
Hi, I'm president of the David Hartman fan club here in Glendale. I've even met David Hartman once. What a neat guy.
Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim cherry. A sweep is as lucky can be. Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim cheroo. Good luck will rub off when I shake hands with you.
This is B.B. King saying, won't you please give, so that Don Simmons here and so many others can become useful members of society.
Or below me a kiss, and that's lucky too.
Write to Blacks Without Soul. Post Office Box 1305A, Atlanta, Georgia. Thank you.
You know, between the Pendleton Badgers and Ohio Western Mustangs.
Oh, it's football. Everywhere I turn, it's football, football. Big fat schmutball.
Well, forgive me, Mr. Intellectual. God forbid you should come down from your ivory tower for 4 quarters.
4 quarters? I don't care what you pay me. I'm not going.
Andy Warhol and John Waters, in conjunction with Saliva Productions, present Jim Barrie's beloved children's classic, Peter Pan.
I think I see him. No, that's just a cloud. No, it's not. It's Peter.
I'm flying. Look at me way up high, suddenly here am I'm flying.
Yes, it's divine, starring as the boy who wouldn't grow up.
I won't grow up.
I won't grow up.
I don't want to go to school.
I don't want to go to school.
Just to learn to be a parrot.
Just to learn to be a parrot.
And recite a silly rule.
And recite a silly rule.
Well, are you on the list or not? It's weird that whenever it comes up, you just tell everyone to relax.
I'm not telling everyone to relax. Relax, Dad.
The f*** are you boys doing in the big house? Well, our dad had a baby, so we ran away.
And then we got arrested for not speeding enough.
Shouldn't even be alive.
Huh?
I put out a hit on you. Super sorry. But you know, I'm in motherfucking prison here. My life is f***ed. Dr. Girlfriend left me.
Why would you want to kill us?
Because she needs her space, like I didn't give her space.
I'm going to do a scene from the movie Raging Bull. You fucked my wife? What? You fucked my wife? How can you ask me a question like that? How can you ask me? I'm your brother, and you ask me that? Where do you get the balls big enough to ask me that?
She really did some job on you. You know how fucking nuts you are? Look what she did to you.
You fucked my wife.
What?
You fucked my wife.
How could you ask me a question like that? How could you ask me? I'm your brother. You ask me that? Where do you get your balls big enough to ask me that?
Kill or be killed, what is it going to take for people like you and Dingle to get along with the East Coast?
Look, I don't know, man. I mean, these guys got their fucking talking dolls and shit.
Questions, Professor Pickles?
What? I ain't no Professor Pickles.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, don't mess with the East Coast. Look, I don't need you defending me, you howdy-doody looking motherfucker. I'm out of here, yo. Yeah, I'm with him. Man, step off.
Hey, where's your ribbon? Oh, I don't wear them.
You don't wear the ribbon? Aren't you against AIDS?
Yeah, I'm against AIDS. I mean, I'm walking, aren't I? Just don't wear the ribbon.
Who do you think you are?
Put the ribbon on.
Hey, Cedric, Bob, this guy won't wear a ribbon.
Who? Who doesn't want to wear the ribbon?
Let's get back to
Right,
your
so
story.
these punks,
Yes.
I don't know if they wanted money
Mhm.
or they wanted something more sexual.
Wow.
But it's a lucky thing I had my pieces.
Your pieces.
My guns.
Oh.
Anyway, I started blasting. Bang!
Wow.
Bang! Well, I don't see so good, so I missed. Then they ran away. I ran after them.
Okay.
Bang! Try to shoot them in the back. But I don't run so good either. Anyway, you guys all think I'm a hero, and I'll accept that responsibility.
All right, come out or I'll blast you out.
For shame, Doc. Hunting rabbits with an elephant gun.
Elephant gun?
That's right, Doc. So why don't you go shoot yourself an elephant? You do, and I'll give you such a pinch.
We're going to start our volleys. We hope you like the show. Now everything is ready. We're raring to go. We'll give you all the latest songs and dances full of pep. We're gonna start with high chuck. Just watch this chorus steps.
Originally settled as Ocean View during the 1850s, the city's population boomed with displaced
But in my own way, I am king. Hail to the king, baby.
Hey, everybody, welcome to the show. Thanks for tuning in. If you're here live, and if you're not, and you're after the fact, thank you very much. In fact, you know what? I want to say to each and every one of you.
What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
Hello.
What's up?
I am going to be front loading this show, so stick around. Pay attention now. Don't skip ahead. Except I have to talk about some things. For those of you that don't know.
My name is Joe Carter, comic book retailer in Berkeley, California.
That's right. Every Wednesday through Sunday, 12 to 5 p.m. Yule Carter. That's me. See, that's how I spell my name right there. Jeez, you'd think I'd get this by now. How do you anyway, I putting the show together. It's funny how I realize sometimes, oh my God, I have it written down in a book, and I was kind of trying to talk about how life is all these little crises we have to manage to get through, and maybe we have to do things, construct some make-believe stories, fanciful stories in our minds. Maybe it was AI. It's not real. It wasn't my signature. To get around, being able to get up the next day. Because if you start thinking about all the things you'd fucked up doing, and I mean, you might not even be a bad person. It's just like all the things. And it can really prevent you from wanting to get out of bed sometimes. But this store opens every Wednesday through Sunday. And like I said, getting this show together, I realized I fucked up. Oh, I mean, it's like I really, really made a mistake. And on top of it, I was thinking about Superboy Prime and how maybe I erroneously gave a little bit of false information to someone about it. This was actually 2 weeks ago. I asked my guest whether or not he could be on last week, but we'll find out all about that in just a second. Suffice it to say,
Job, instead of always coming to me, asking me for money, saying, I've made a huge mistake, you can bail yourself out next time.
I've never admitted to a mistake.
Yeah, me either. But unfortunately, some of my order that would normally have been ordered didn't get ordered. And you're going to be very disappointed if you come in looking for that. We'll get on about that later. So the important thing is we're going to talk about Superboy Prime. I got a guest. I've got a video for him. The last time I'm going to play this video for him.
You have that look about you.
One that says I need a drink.
One that says you need a positive review.
We're fellow travelers, warriors of words, soldiers of syntax, pugilists of prose.
Writers.
Writers. Joe Corallo of comics. I like that.
It's true. All of it.
All of it of and comics. Is that really the preposition you needed to use there?
Well, I mean, figure I had the space. Why not, right?
Excellent. What are you reading there?
Well, the first appearance of Superboy Prime in DC Comics Presents 87.
Wow. That's a nice volume. What am I looking at there?
This is from the box set, the Crisis on Infinite Earths box set, which is like 13 hardcovers that covers the whole.
Oh, and it had all the drawing on the spines, right?
There's some of that, and it's got the box as a big illustration. You have to open up the front there, but it's a fun little volume. It has all the. I'm sure it's missing one or two things because there's just so much that I'm sure there are people who would be like, well, technically this is also a crossover, or they could have started this, but it's basically all of the Justice League issues from the Silver and Bronze Age where they cross over to like Earth 2 and Earth 3 and all that. Leads into Crisis, and then it's just all of the tie-in issues from like Superman, Batman, Legion, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, all of that. So it's a fun way to read thousands of pages of comics that are just about one event.
Right. Of one event. The thing about Crisis on Infinite Earths, and we'll get into that, I'm sure. We will. I'm gonna lead it that way. Is that it took a long time within comics, like the little seeds have been set, you know. Anything Mark Wolfman was writing, so Teen Titans, I think he was doing Wonder Woman or something at that time also.
He was doing
or maybe it was Adventures. It's kind of hard to say anybody was really
he was doing some stuff. I know, like Wonder Woman, once it got to Crisis, Mindy Newell took over for a few issues, and then they had Jerry Conway sort of wrap it all up. But yeah, and that's some of the last, like, that was a long run of like Don Heck art on Wonder Woman, and I think that was the last substantial run of comics he did, I think.
I want to think about that.
Yeah. Because he was on Wonder
During
Woman
that,
for like 3 years or so.
yeah,
like 3
and
years.
before that, he was like on Flash and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think he may have gone over to Marvel and done Defenders, but really stretching on that one.
Yeah,
think
but
he might
if
have.
he did, that would have been the last run.
Right,
I think
probably. Yeah.
you know, yeah. But and it's gorgeous stuff. I think he did a really good job on Wonder Woman, and some of those stories are really good. It's a little bit of a mixed bag, but some of them are really interesting around then. But
Right.
I think Green Lantern was some of the strongest stuff around then. You know, obviously like Titans and some other stuff, but like and Legion, but you know, you got the Steve Englehart, Joe Staton run, and they stayed on pre-crisis, post-crisis, and really, I think, helped the continuity of Green Lantern through that, which I think was kind of a behemoth to do.
Right.
But,
Well, so firstly, let's not get too into it really quick. Joe writes comic books. You edit comic books.
Also true.
You have had many successfully funded Kickstarter campaigns, correct?
Sure, I've been the editor on multiple successful Kickstarters and you know, like anthologies, you know, like the editors in those. Not that we're doing everything, but you know, you're kind of you know, you're more or less in charge of the book.
Right.
So done those, and then I had my first successful Kickstarter of a book I just wrote myself that I'm editing myself the other week.
But you're editing yourself?
Well, I mean, we're not bringing an editor in. It's just like me and Chase doing this. Chase Bluestone. It's just 24-page, like one shot, like thriller sort of thing. And
so it's not still open, or can you backer kit it now, or what's the deal on that?
Right now, I have to look into like they're so weird with late pledges. It's like I set everything up, but maybe I didn't hit like another button or something you need. But like I'll look into it. But if you want a copy, you can always DM me, and you know, because they're not going to the printer yet. So
I see. So get a hold of him on Instagram or Twitter or X.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Twitter, Instagram are easy.
Are you on Blue Sky?
I do have a Blue Sky. Yeah.
Are you LinkedIn?
I'm on LinkedIn.
Holy cow!
You know,
no wonder you always got something you're working on.
Yeah, so you know, just gotta do that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to. And then I already have an idea for another one shot I'd like to kickstart next year.
All right. Well, I want you to know that I knew about it because of. Well, Perch had a video about it, but I think one of the viewers mentioned it. And so I kickstarted it. I want you to know I kickstarted. I helped fund your book. And I went to the tier that we're going to get some artwork from Chase. Right?
Nice. Yeah, no, Chase is really great. He's really good at mimicking other styles and stuff like that too.
Awesome.
So
well, I was hoping I could like put it out there for people to maybe figure out maybe who we could get Chase to do a piece. It's gonna be one figure, one face, something like that, right?
Yeah, like a figure, like a
so we're not gonna
bust or something like that. Yeah.
You're right, exactly. So a lot of times what I normally do is like Doctor Strange or Firestorm type stuff. But hopefully, maybe with the conversation we have today, we might have a new favorite.
Yeah, but I mean, he could definitely do those. Like,
all right, cool,
for sure.
Either that, or I'm just gonna send a dog pic. You know.
Yeah, that works too. You could do
that. Well, you mentioned it. Yeah, I'm really excited. Although I didn't see a tier for retailers. Did I miss it?
No, you know, we didn't do one for retailers, like, and you know, maybe maybe we'll do one next time. It was just like, I don't know, like the price point we have to like print these and get them done. I feel like why would a retailer want to carry a $10 book for 24 pages?
Are you crazy? Well, how do I mean, so I hear you, but I'm gonna have to get some copies so I can sell it to my customers. You know what I mean?
I'm happy to figure that out and
all right, cool.
Work it out for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, because I know there's definitely going to be some customers that are going to want to have read that. And
yeah, no,
I mean, I don't know. Everybody, when I'm on other shows and they find out that I have a store in Berkeley, their minds are like, oh, this person. I mean, yes, that's me, that person, but I'm not every person.
Yeah.
Like you, right? I mean, you totally get pigeonholed. Guy with a mustache.
No, definitely.
Right.
These things happen.
All right. First, let's say hi to everybody.
Hello. 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 Oh. Go. Look out. Hello.
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 First up, we already had some comments early on. Fantinuum, or no, Erica Sullivan. Superboy Prime is my favorite character, one of my favorite characters. I'm a huge fan. Looking forward to this talk. Boops for Joe and hi to Gizmo. No. Boops for Gizmo and hello to Joe. And boops for Yule too. That's right. Superboy Prime, not ever one of those characters. I thought we were talking about Superboy, right?
Yeah.
I didn't realize Superboy Prime all these years. I didn't read that issue until today.
Yeah.
I almost skipped over it anyway, just so I could be, really duncy about the whole thing. But I knew there was more to it than what I was letting in on. I want to get into Superboy as a character, the Legion of Superheroes, Crisis on Infinite Earths, and then his origin. But first, we'll start off with something current.
Sure.
Fantinuum, yo. How about that? You talking about Superboy Prime? I was just thinking about the character a few weeks ago, probably because of the book we're going to be talking about in a second. One of the most awesomely OP characters out there. Overpowered, I guess is what that means.
Yeah.
Julie Pill's in the other room. Hello. How's your father? Good evening. Not near mint. Happy NCBD live. Eve live. Elithidor, sup? Yo, Joe. How many times? Not dogging on Elithidor about that at all. How often have you heard that in a comic book setting?
No, it happens. I mean, it definitely happens every convention at some point. For sure. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, I like saying yo and Joe.
Yeah. I'll also say I ran into, what was it, Michel Fife of Copra fame. And he said, he was like, oh, no, I've seen you on like YouTube. And he didn't say a specific channel, so it could be yours. Just saying.
It would be awesome. I've told him, I've told him that I try not to be really, like, I'm not even doing social media really.
Yeah.
I try not to, maybe you could be, especially with person on the East Coast. You've been roped in. You're and you're my last real East Coast person, my only East Coast person. I don't want to make anybody suffer.
No,
how's your father? Hello, Joe. Dwayne Muth. Hey guys. Walk is here to say sup with it. That's one of my customers. Jolly 12. Hi guys. $10 for 24 pages. Sounds like you're the average Marvel Legacy number special. Wait, what's 24 pages and $10? Oh, that's yours.
Yeah.
Well, 24 pages of story, right?
Yeah.
And a little extra artwork or any process or letter.
Well,
or
the
like
PDF tier and stuff, which everyone will get that backs also of that. But like we have a lot of we have a bigger, like a deluxe PDF that's going to have like script pages and the process art. We have a lot of process art and stuff like that. So people get some more stuff, but the story, I'm hoping people really dig it, since we're really, I was inspired specifically by like Frank Miller on Ronin. The layouts in Ronin and Gene Colan on Tomb of Dracula were really inspirational for it. So it should also not look like most things. And it's kind of crazy that people don't like Ronin. I feel gets glossed over a lot in general, but I don't know if it's Frank Miller's best comic, but I do think it's his best layouts for a comic.
Yeah.
Like the pages are like what he does is incredible with the page. And, I really wanted to pull a lot from that kind of way of going about a comic. And, we'll see.
I haven't read the entirety of Ronin a lot of times.
Yeah.
But I've read it more than once.
Mm-hmm.
I've read that first issue a ton of times.
Yeah.
Like it's like some of his Daredevil 181, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
First Elektra, was something that was pretty popular.
Oh yeah.
I read it just Turtles, X-Men issues of the time.
Yep.
When Ronin came out, that first issue, it was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And it's still, I just read it recently. I did a buy, and in that buy there was an old version of Ronin. And I said, "Oh, I'll read this." And I had customers that were getting into it because of the new series that had come out, not too long ago when Diamond was still a company. And by the way, that's in a manga format, black and white. Very, very good.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah. Ronin's just great. And, $10 isn't that much.
No, I mean, I hope, in terms of just like getting like a nice quality story. But speaking of Superman 2, I popped into Midtown Comics the other week, and they had copies of this signed by W. Maxwell Prince, so I had to snag
That's
one.
the writer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was he there, or was it just copies that they had signed?
They had some extra copies there because Robbie Billups, who does the Pop Culture Philosophers channel and is the manager of, was it The Deep down in Alabama, was in town and wanted to check out Midtown Comics,
Deep.
so took him over there.
You know about a club called The Deep, right?
Oh,
like that.
Yeah.
Hey, wait a second. That was a store. It's an Alabama store called The Deep.
I think it's The Deep. I think that's the name of the store. Yeah.
How far along is the art on that? You said it was about halfway done.
I mean, it's all laid out. Inks are done for about half. 8 pages are colored already. So like it's was it 5 pages are lettered? So like it's gonna be done in the next like month or so, and then we'll send it to the printer and get it out. I have a little inside baseball for people who don't quite know everything there is about the logistics of a Kickstarter. I need to spend this money before the end of the year, or I get fucked in taxes. So, because you end up getting double tax then. So, don't worry, it's going to be out by
I see
the end of the year. So.
You can't buy credit. You just say, hey, you're the printer. I'll buy $2,000 of credit.
Yeah, no, that gets dicey. It's just I'm gonna. I gotta spend it, get this over with, and then move on to the next thing. So
Jagron 2 is here. Says, "Hey, Yule. I was wondering, did you still have any of those polybag Batmans, or did you sell out?" And then my LCS never got theirs. Yours, you never got yours. I hardly ordered any. I reordered them really quick, but I didn't get them in. Regardless of what Fantinuum says, I didn't get them. So I will. I don't know. I have a couple people breathing down my neck for them already, and I got to see them on a weekly basis. I'll remember you, Jagron, as I'm moving them if I get them out. All right. Let me bring up some of these picks so that I should have been doing that while you were talking. Oh yeah, what were you able to what did you do last week that you weren't able to come on? I wanted to find out how that was.
Yeah, no, I was at the Nine Inch Nails show at Barclays Center.
Wow.
So I didn't I wasn't home till after 11 or
Sure.
So
was it Nine Inch Nails and Tron? Is that what
it was no, it was just it was Trent and the people he pays to be the rest of the band, and then what was it, Boys Noise was there too, because they did some of the their Key, I think, just did some of the score for Tron, and they did do like the one single that got released at the show, but it was a crazy show. Like every song got more or less its own light show that was unique to that song. He played over half of the Downward Spiral, which is kind of nuts.
Is that the one with pigs on it?
Yeah. It's got he did Mr. Self-Destruct, March of the Pigs, Piggy, Ruiner, Reptile, Closer, trying to think, like Closer. Just like just so hurt.
Is that your Nine Inch Nails album?
I mean, it's tough. For me, I usually go back and forth between The Fragile and Pretty Hate Machine. So those are the two I tend to go to. I like the Downward Spiral, but like those are the two albums, Fragile and Pretty Hate Machine. When I'm in the mood for Nine Inch Nails and I want to throw an album on, it's usually one of those two. And With Teeth gets thrown in the mix a bit too. I saw them a bunch for that tour.
Yeah. Cool. I was a big fan of. Well, I was telling again, it's comic book talk. I was saying how I needed your help to talk about Superboy Prime because I'm so, I'm like the Renaissance man. Talk about Nine Inch Nails or whatever. We were really into Broken, and I thought that was a great. And we were also talking at the store about the dude that was getting beat up and stuff on video. That one.
Yeah, but I mean, they did Gave Up and Wish, but they always do. They've done Gave Up and Wish every show I've seen them, which is great. I love both those. I saw them do Help Me I'm in Hell once too, which is really fun. But they did Head Like a Hole. Trying to think. Yeah, they didn't really. Yeah, no, it was great. They did from With Teeth, they just did Hand That Feeds and Right Where It Belongs. They did I'm Afraid of Americans, which was cool.
Oh yeah. That's the one with David Bowie, right?
Yeah. So it was like this one's for David Bowie, and then he did,
that was some good David Bowie stuff at the time too, but I don't really know it. I mean, I only was paying attention to what I cared about at the time.
I really liked Earthling. I mean, Earthling, Outside, I really like both of those albums. I think after that you get into like Hours, which was pretty good. Heathen. There was some really good Reality. I think was a pretty good album too. But yeah, no, Bowie was great. Bowie was at the first Nine Inch Nails show I saw. at the
Really?
Hammerstein Ballroom in like 2005. It's like over 20 years ago at this point.
I
And,
saw
it's fun.
I saw him when he came out for an encore at a Morrissey show.
Nice.
Yeah. Back
Yeah.
in the good old days.
Yeah, I saw Morrissey a few times. Yeah, I've seen Morrissey. I've seen Johnny Marr.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I saw Johnny Marr and Andy Rourke, rest in peace. Do How Soon Is Now and Please, Please, Please Let Me Get What I Want together at a show.
Oh wow, yeah.
That
Did you
was
hear that
good.
Morrissey's selling his end of the Smiths catalog? He doesn't want
Yeah,
to deal with
no,
it anymore.
I heard that, and
How much
you
do you think
know,
that's worth?
a friend of mine texted me that, and I texted him back like, you know, I wanted Morrissey's half of the Smiths catalog, and now I have Morrissey's half of the Smiths catalog, and heaven knows I'm miserable now.
That's good. I like that. See, that's why you're a good. That's Joe's the writer for comics. You guys DM him. What's the name of your book again that I ordered?
Sink to the Top.
Yeah, I thought it was a great premise, and it's
Thank you.
It's I don't know. It's just it feels like there's a reason for the character of being, for the story that's presented.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's all about. And it's just no one should have a problem with it. It's just it sounds like a really good show. Good show is what it sounds like.
Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, for me, like I personally like as long as it's good or really bad, that's all that counts.
Okay.
I just don't want to be bored.
Your action
the worst.
comics, Dolly in the Dark, right? Was an action comic. I mean, I guess there's always action in the books that you've had, but sometimes the art style might kind of do things a little bit. I mean, there's a lot in the Rachel Pollack one that you worked on. What was that called?
Yeah. That was DC Pride, a celebration of Rachel Pollack. I did a story called what?
No, I mean the other one.
Which one? Oh, the Neverending Party. Yeah.
There's a lot of violence going on in that.
There sure is.
I mean, there's a lot of mayhem, but it's not necessarily like, you know, you're following people and it's action and like Dahlia was. I guess Beckstar was also, but again, it's kind of science fiction-y also, so it's a little different.
Yeah. No, for sure, but yeah, no, the Neverending Party. I had a lot of fun. Yeah, there's people just getting eaten and maimed, and ripped apart and stuff. It was great. At Rachel Shiva, one of her friends, you know, this older white lady was just like, you know, I read that comic you did with Rachel, and I had no idea she was like that.
Well, she might not be like that.
No, but no, it was funny.
Are you ready to talk about some Superboy?
Yeah, we could. I'm primed and ready.
Oh, very good. I like that. First up, it was the Superman comic book number 29 that came out just a week or so ago, where we get the whole character of Superboy Prime saying, I was this kid named Clark Kent. I collected Superman. I knew all the stuff. I got teased at school and everything like that. And then I became, you know, Superboy, blah, blah, blah. And in this one, he's talking to us, you know, kind of like he's talking to Superman, but he's doing it like, oh, he's very wise in the ways of comic books. And he's like, we're going to have a team up together. It's something I've always been looking forward to. And then he punches. Now, I'm going to go to Infinite Crisis just for a second. I remember the hooting and the hollering was about Superboy Prime punching time.
And punching the source wall, all that stuff. Yeah,
punching it right in the face. And here he says, punching time and space. I mean, he should have said fate. Time in the face. That's what he should have said. So we're getting to smart alecky Superboy. He's got a weird costume on. We'll talk about that in just a second. And here they are going through time, and then they are let out into this really desolate universe that they didn't expect to see in quite this way. They're looking for the Legion of Superheroes, and you can see all sorts of dead people dead.
Yeah.
Here. And I had questions from people asking me about Superboy Prime.
Yeah.
And one of the things I did today was I went to YouTube and I checked out a Comic Storian. Now that's another RIP guy, right?
Yeah.
And I watched his Superboy Prime video, and I watched a few others and some people talking about Superman 28 and 29. I've read 28 and 29. I don't know if you have, but they're very good. Yeah. I like them.
Yep.
And it's really exciting, and this is the summer of Superman, and there's a big event that's happening, and all we got the dark side stuff crossing over with the absolute, and all this. DC is big in my store right now with a lot of people, and I'm selling it quite a bit, but I don't know if I necessarily have the answers, because my idea of Superboy is this Superboy right here.
Yeah.
Or better yet, this Superboy with the Legion of Superheroes, where they first, came in and let him know that they're fans of his and they wouldn't have started if it wasn't for his exploits. But that's not this Superboy Prime, right?
Yeah. No, it's a little. It's one of those things.
Why did they need to make a Superboy Prime? Is my question to you.
So here's the thing. You have to go. It basically goes all the way back to the cancellation or the ending of the George Reeves Superman show.
Okay.
Because once that happened, once it was over, because if you read Superman comics in the late Golden Age, a lot of people criticize it for, it was getting like stale because they weren't really pushing the concept, because they didn't want to do stuff that would be too hard to do on like TV. So this has been a problem that's been persisting in comics long before comic movies and all of that. Like you can go back to the George Reeves Superman, and
they cared that much about the program that that the comic book was having problems. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so they cared enough that they held a tighter grip on sort of the continuity of the comics with the show. Not that it paralleled the show, but they were like, well, if we're going to do adventures, let's keep it to what you could find on the show to some extent, because you didn't want to have them flying through space fighting aliens all the time in the comic, and then you go read you watch the show, and he's in a warehouse punching the same three guys again. Like it's you don't want to do that necessarily. So once the show was over and Mort Weitzinger got complete sort of control, to basically free reign, like do whatever you want now, he pushed doing new and innovative things with Superman constantly. Like the initiative was something like, well, we need something like new and exciting for Superman every like couple of months. So in a very short time frame, you get the Fortress of Solitude, Brainiac, Candor, Crypto, Supergirl, Metallo, Bizarro. Those all happen in like a 2-year period.
Wow.
And one of the other things they did was they created Superboy. Superman when he was a boy. And it involved a lot of retconning. Because now, and it didn't and while a lot of those stories are fun and interesting, and if you care about a broader DC continuity, which I mean they didn't at the time, you like this stuff is all happening before the Marvel age of comics. This is all years before Fantastic Four #1 and years still from Fantastic Four Annual #3, which really solidified Marvel as an interconnected universe where all of the heroes coexist.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of like, yeah, whatever. Like he's Superboy then, and like it's something he becomes Superman. Like, because if you think about it for more than like 3 seconds, it would be like, oh, Superboy lived in Smallville and now Superman lives in Metropolis. I wonder where he's from.
Yeah.
Like,
not only that, I love I love the fact that Lex Luthor was from Smallville.
Yep.
And that it was because of Superboy that he loses his hair, right?
Yep.
I mean, now that is a reason. You know, everybody tries to come up with some new reason for why Superman should be hated by Lex Luthor. Yeah, got rid of his hair. That really is all I need. I mean, I could hate a person for eternity.
Yeah.
Like if I had someone to blame for my hair that isn't like a relative.
Yeah. Oh no, for sure. And I am with you. I gotta say, no offense to anyone who's bald out there. I love having a full head of hair.
Oh, son of a bitch.
I love it. It's great.
The worst. That's the worst thing you've ever said. Ever. Ever.
Oh my god. But yeah, so you have that with Superboy, and now he has his own adventures again, like Crypto's involved a lot, and a young Lex and a young Mxyzptlk, and the original Bizarro was from Superboy, and then so you had like Bizarro Superboy before you had Bizarro Superman, and the idea of Ma and Pa Kent like really comes from Superboy. Like that's really the framework where we spend a lot of time with these characters. Lana Lang is also introduced here, as well as like was it Lori Lemus, the mermaid?
The mermaid, yeah.
Who like Wonder Woman also had like a mermaid, like a merman she was into. Like mermaids and mermen in comics were really big in the late 50s for some reason.
Maybe that's like all that Ray Harryhausen stuff that was going on, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe the Creature of the Black Lagoon or something was a big hit.
Yeah, I know, but it's just funny. But yeah, so you had all this, and like you're saying too, the Legion of Superheroes also introduced in that very short time period of just like 2, maybe 3 years tops of all of these creations. Coming about, and one of the very first like recurring threat that the Legion really had was the Time Trapper,
right?
And so one of Superboy's first sort of unique supervillains and all of that was like the Time Trapper, who didn't have like a connection directly to Superman, who wasn't like an offshoot of that, or like some dipshit kid who made a robot or something.
Right.
So, you'd have that, but and the Time Trapper comes into all this later as well. But like, you had all of this continuity with Superboy, and then Crisis starts rolling around,
right?
And so the concept of Superboy wasn't going to fit,
right? Exactly. So they knew they were going to have to like get rid of that character, right? Is basically what it is. And did they? So what happened? Like, was Superboy Prime now taking the place of Superboy? Some of the elements of Superman's past was going to be utilized later on, but I don't understand. What was their I mean, was that the premise? Because like we're getting rid of for people that don't know, Crisis on Infinite Earths was there were so many worlds in DC, and they cared so much about making a cohesive universe. Joe was saying that it wasn't until Fantastic Four that kind of shit was even happening. So DC had even longer, 15 extra years that they weren't fucking doing that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Or 20 years or whatever the hell it was.
It was a while, yeah.
It was a long time. So like from the 30s to then to 1980, and they're like, we got to do something about this. And all the fucking DC snobs were like, you know, this is going to be really important and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And they had to like figure out a way to make Marv Wolfman and George Perez were going to be killing off all these characters.
Yeah.
And, you know, what is going to stay and what is not going to stay. The JSA are a team from the 40s, you know, are any characters going to remain? Are we going to remember them? Was that Batman a Batman that had anything to do with this Batman and all this other stuff? It's very exhaustive if you start to think about it. So it makes sense that they would want to kill everybody off.
Yeah, and I mean, speaking of Batman, like they let like a little before Crisis, I believe Joe Staton drew the issue where they killed off you know, the Batman of Earth 2.
I mean, was that him that did that?
I believe so, yeah. I think it was like a birthday gift for like Joe Orlando or something. It was like, hey, we killed Earth 2 Batman. But yeah, you had all this going on. You had all of the crazy continuity, but you also had stories like Marv Wolfman's Action Comics 554, I think was the story. What if Superman didn't exist? So, you know, you explored a world where, you know, Superman wasn't there, which I feel also kind of ties in a little bit to like what we see in DC Comics Presents 87. It's important to note too, it's drawn by Kurt Swan, who is the Superman artist. And I think this is a segue. I've been trying to like you know, push for something like this, and I think I'm going to talk to some people about it when I get a chance. I would love to see an absolute edition of like Superman by Kurt Swan, where you just get, because and I think we'll more or less be on the same page in terms of like they're never going to like make absolutes or whatever of like all of that stuff. But if you got people like, you know, Mark Waid, Paul Levitz, maybe a handful like Tom Pyre, I think would be good for this. You got a handful of people to pick their top 5 Kurt Swan stories.
Yes.
And you put it in an absolute format. You add like essays. Obviously, Whatever Happened to the Man Tomorrow would also be in that. And I think you would use that as a selling point too. And then you have a gigantic cover gallery of all of those Kurt Swan, maybe not all of them, but as many Kurt Swan,
as many as you could
Superman.
Put.
Yeah, as many as you could put, and really really showcase that. Get your buddy Carrie Bates to pick some stories.
I haven't seen him forever.
You know, but honestly though, he would be the guy you would probably want to write like an introduction for something like that, because he worked with Kurt a lot.
Yeah, he was there.
And I think, and Carrie wrote the first appearance of Feora in like Action Comics like 471, I think. And like 471 to 473 should be in this collection, because it's a great sort of Kryptonian prisoner breakout story. And you know, I'd love to see something like that out there, and I think there's an audience for it.
All right, so here's a little off topic. I mean, along with what you're saying, I would like to see a curated best of book by legends that are still alive, right? Like, what is Walt Simonson's favorite DC books? You know what I mean? You know, or best American DC comics, Walt Simonson editing, Louise Simonson, John Byrne, you know, Marv Wolfman, all these people that are still around, and then some of the influential people from today. Maybe somebody a little outside of comics. What does Gerard Way really dig?
Yeah.
He's not young anymore, but he's still younger than some of us.
Yeah.
Somebody a little rock and roll. What's CM Punk? He should curate a Marvel book. We know he's a Marvel dude. What are his favorite FF books? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can you believe he picked this one? If they ever got one of me, the first one I'm putting is Avengers David Letterman episode.
Oh, sure. But yeah, like I think that would be a good thing to do. So I hope something like that happens. I'll mention it to people at DC.
Yeah,
next
let
time
Mark Gagne know that people need his insights.
No, absolutely. But yeah, so you have all this happen, and you have Crisis, and I'm sure you're thinking along the same lines as me to some extent of like, they did all this build up and it took that long for Crisis to happen, and like so shortly into it they're already teasing some of the supposed like they're already undoing some stuff. Like
I want you guys to read. All right, so for people that have only read comics in the last 20 years, I want you to go back to when Jonathan Hickman was giving Marvel an out. You can rewrite everything. You can start all over because this is the story we've all followed. We're ready to go. And they didn't do any of it. Yep. Or Grant Morrison on X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
Good or bad. However, I know you're a little critical about Grant Morrison's X-Men.
I'm a little critical, but overall, I mean,
they went about undoing it immediately.
Yeah. I've got my omnibus signed by Frank Quitely.
Look at you. The Grant Morrison one's probably the easy one to get.
I have a couple of things signed by Grant.
I have that Flex Mentallo #1.
Nice. I have a page from his Doom Patrol run that I would love to get signed at some point.
Did Richard Case do it?
It's a Richard Case page, yep.
Amen. All right. Before we get into Crisis, because we pretty much have, I just want to do a few pages where we talk about the first appearance of Superboy Prime.
Yep.
This is a 2-part story, or 2 different issues of a Superman and a Superboy Prime. And in the Superman story, he is, what is it? He's like transported to a different Earth. And on this Earth, he spies a boy that's dressed like Superman, I should say, and Lori Lamaris. And then he starts floating up to the sky. And hold on a sec. How did I lose this? Oh, that's the one. Okay, here he interacts with Superman, and he says, Superman says that, he's had a loss in his life. And he's like, what are you talking about? He's like, Supergirl died, Kara. And what was that, issue 7 or 8 of Infinite?
Might have been 8.
Crisis?
I think 8 was the one with him holding Kara in his arms, but it might be 7. But
yeah, whatever. It might be interposed with the Flash one, but it was like Flash and then Supergirl died just like that. Boom. Big characters, because let me tell you, I was a Legion of Superheroes fan, and Brainiac and Supergirl, like, I don't usually, like, even today, I don't really care about people hooking up in comic books.
Yeah.
But I was totally invested in Brainiac 5 and Supergirl. And she losing her life, that was not cool at all, I thought. Anyway, Superboy Prime says here, he's all, Kara, really? Not a this isn't a hoax, it's not a dream. And Superman doesn't understand why he's talking that way. And then we get the next story, again, Kurt Swan drawing, the origin of Superboy Prime. And we have the same situation where shit's going down on Krypton, but instead of a a rocket, it's a teleporter, right?
Yeah.
And he gets teleported to what is our Earth, it looks like. I guess this is the world is since it's Prime, it's our world. And he grows up reading all the Superman comic books, all the the Superman movie, all the stuff that we have been able to consume. This kid has been able to consume, and of course, he's been named Clark Kent.
Yeah,
and on an evening trip with her and with Lori, whoever this lady is, I don't even know, Lori Lamaris, his date, dressed up that way, comic book style. Clark dresses up like Superboy. They go to the beach. It's a big old thing. And he feels like, he wants to try jumping up in the sky. And he doesn't really make it. And they have this big old, talk. And then he looks up in the sky and he sees Halley's Comet. And he starts floating up. And that's where he meets Superman, just like we saw in the last issue, or the last part of this, or the first story. First part of the first story. I don't really want to get into it too much. Was it the Halley's Comet or the Superman being in proximity to him that made him be able to get superpowers after so long? Or just puberty?
I think they were trying to pull off a little bit with like Halley's Comet, but like it was all that and like the world's ending basically. And they were kind of like implying certain things with like, oh, the nuclear explosions and all of that going on. But for people who might be like, well, why Earth Prime? What is Earth Prime? Earth Prime was from the Flash 179. That was the first appearance of Earth Prime.
Okay.
And it was a Flash story where, he's chasing someone at super speed and then gets knocked into another parallel universe. Like, because he kind of got knocked into one with the, like the Flash 2 World storyline, but, or story, it was one issue. But, it goes into this
There's
world.
so many words, it feels like a storyline in one book.
Yeah, right. But, but he ends up in Earth Prime, which is a world where he's just a comic book character. And there would be a few more times where, like the Justice League eventually would end up dealing with something of Earth Prime, but it was this little thing. But like Elliot S. Maggin was a big continuity guy. He wrote a bunch of Silver Age Legion too, but he was an editor at DC who was really... he was one of the guys there that had more of like an encyclopedic knowledge of everything. So he wanted to tackle during Crisis, like, oh, there's this Earth Prime, which only made a few appearances, but like, let's do something with that for, Crisis. So that's where he came up with this idea to do this story. Obviously having no idea where they would take Superboy Prime, from there, but that was the premise was, oh, let's do this little nod to Earth Prime. And like, while we're at it, like, let's do a little bit with Superboy because we know there's not going to be a Superboy going forward. So like, so there were a few different moving parts. I think Elliot S. Maggin did a really good job balancing that enough, trying to add like a second emotional arc to the death of Kara. And yeah, I mean, it's still a little kind of like, I don't know what the fuck's going on for half of this, but whatever, it's fine. But
so then we get Crisis on Infinite Earths is already going on. We get introduced to the Superboy Prime character, I guess, so that they can have a Superboy Prime or Superboy character to get rid of because of the whole continuity problem that he presents. And this is the issue that I point out. So this is the last issue. And I thought reading this again, it was quite impressive. They managed to blast the anti-monitor, and there's like little like shadowed beasts of him that are like scattered, right? Or something like that.
Yeah.
And Alex Luthor has this power so that he can keep open like a bridge so that everybody could get the F out of the way, I guess is basically it. He's like, everybody that's going, all ashore is going ashore, right? And these things are all trapped up in the Green Lantern sphere, and everybody's all hurrying, and psycho pirates being all nutty and everything like that. And you can see the anti-monitors starting to, come back. There's a big old fight that's going on, and our heroes that we're going to be following for the future are no longer involved in the Crisis on Infinite Earths. I find it very funny as I'm reading this. We've got Superman from Earth 2, so he has gray temples. He's the World War II Superman, right?
Yeah.
And we've got Superboy Prime for anybody that didn't read that DC Comics Presents, and there are so many characters running through Crisis on Infinite Earths. You probably can be forgiven since you didn't look too deeply, Yule. So that you figure this is just that Superboy.
Yeah.
And they're the left behind with what is this? Alex Luthor and whoever this character is. I can't remember what her name is.
Mm-hmm.
And they've all been introduced in the months before. Superboy is carrying a few people, and he's like, I'm going to stick behind. He throws them through the hole. Alex Luthor's like, it's closed, and then they go and fight the anti-monitor and basically destroy him. You can see Wonder Woman here perishing. You can see the anti-monitor says, I'm going to kill you, Superman. I'm going to kill you. And everybody's like, oh, man, what the heck's going on here? Superman destroys him. One big punch. He's had enough. Everything's cool. And Superboy and I have it right here. And Superboy Prime and Superman and I don't know if this is a reincarnated or a save Lois Lane from Earth 2. They go off into this pocket universe, and that's the way their story ends as far as Crisis on Infinite Earths is concerned. Correct. Yeah. Have I got that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Never to be seen of again, right?
The idea was certainly not to go back to this. It was
okay,
just
so
those one another.
What was the problem with Crisis on Infinite Earths that almost immediately they started undoing it? Can you read my mind? I don't know if we've had this conversation or if I've said it before, but I feel like we both enjoyed something that was a detriment to Crisis.
Yeah, Legion was a detriment to the way it was handled. And some of that, like, it's tough. And you see these sort of things happen over time. Like New 52 was kind of similar in that it was the New 52, unless you're like Batman or Green Lantern, because those books are doing well. So we're gonna keep going, like the continuity and all of that. Like Damian can still exist, and some of these other things, but yeah. And Legion was similar in that Legion, being written by Paul at the time. I think Greg LaRocque was the main artist on it around the time this was going on.
Yeah, I think he
right?
was. Yeah.
Yeah. So like they're doing DC's more or less like their second best selling title.
Right. I was just about to say we're talking. It was hard to like compete with X-Men and Spider-Man back then. But
yeah,
the two titles that did were not Batman and Superman, but New Teen Titans and Legion of Superheroes.
Yeah,
Batman
no,
was like a
for
near
sure.
canceled book back then. You know, they
Yeah.
were thinking about it.
No,
So,
and
I mean, this is like
yeah,
how crazy everything has changed from back in this time. Like, it was
yeah. So
amazing.
So they decided not to, but that's when you get like during John Byrne's run, there's a crossover, and it's like, oh well, the Superboy you think is real wasn't real and was created by the Time Trapper in a pocket universe.
Yeah.
So you actually never met the real Superman, like a very sort of wiggly wobbly timey wimey kind of thing. That was like, okay.
I think having your cake and eating it too is really what it comes down to.
Yeah, but like at the same time, without that, we'd have never gotten like Keith Giffen's Legion 5 years later.
Yeah. The thing about the Legion is that anything that they do either has to be entirely understood and how it affects the past, which is the current storyline. Like having a Legion of this is why Legion of Superheroes has not been able to coexist after Paul Levitz and Giffen, really. You know, maybe the beer bombs, like you're saying, the 5 years later, but that was again 5 years after anything. Like the genius of 5 years later is that it ended everything before, and it didn't matter. Everything you know is different, including the fact that they used the Legionnaires' names, not their side names. You know, like Chameleon Boy, but his real name. What is it?
Oh God! Well,
he's a Durlin. That's all I remember.
No, I know he's a Durlin. I know his name. It's just killing me. They all like I could think of like Rock, Garth, Irma, and Imra rather, and all them. But like,
did you read Superman? You said you read Superman 28 and 29, right?
Yeah.
Irma, when she's like doing her mindfucky thing with Superman, that was pretty sweet.
It was.
And
was
like
really great.
Element or is it Element? No, it's not Element. What am I so stupid? Cosmic Boy. Oh, I'm just gonna destroy the Justice League Tower. Oh, you're in space, idiots. That was cool. I love
it really
Legion,
was.
and this Dark Legion's very
They're
cool
great.
and fun and everything, but they were the reason. I mean, the fact DC had to get rid of the Legion. That was who they needed to get rid of. It wasn't all those other characters. They needed to get rid of the Legion.
Yeah, but it's just so hard when the Legion was such a big title.
The best title.
Yeah. But
because like I read it after Keith Giffen wasn't doing the art. It helps when Steve Lytle's doing issues and Greg LaRock's all right, but
but I mean Steve Lytle is great. Love him.
Definitely. All right, so
shame we lost him so young.
The next time Superboy Prime shows up and I'm only going to highlight this very significant issue. The issue after he shows up was in Infinite Crisis number 5, but this is Infinite Crisis number 6. And in this issue, Superboy Prime has turned evil. Can you explain to me why he's turned evil?
I mean, the real reason is
we're talking about a real kid from our universe, like type thing. Has developed powers, and even though he's consumed comic books, he just doesn't really get it, does he?
No, I mean, Jeff Johns basically created this version of Superboy Prime and did this heel turn as sort of like a stand-in for toxic fandom.
Wait, this was written back in 2004? I can't remember.
4 or 5 around there, and like,
toxic fandom. What were you gonna There was no X back then, I don't think.
No, but yeah, I mean, there were forums, message boards.
Forums. Oh.
But yeah, it was supposed to be, and people used to write letters, and they would all get
letters, yeah.
That sort of stuff. And he was a stand-in for people who were writing in letters being like, you're changing what I love about this. I'm going to stop her because, you're changing this. And Superboy Prime's whole thing is in Infinite Crisis is, you keep changing things. You're making it, I don't like these changes you're making, and I'm going to use my power to stop these changes. Which is destructive, and that's where it's a stand-in for toxic fandom.
And that crazy suit that he's wearing with those coils around him and stuff like that. What's that doing? That's like supercharging him with solar energy or something like that.
Yeah, it's something a little odd.
He's even more solar powered than Superman. That type of thing.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
So in this issue, number 6, he has a pretty awesome fight with Connor Kent, who was the Superboy after Superman died because Doomsday killed him.
Yes.
He was one of 4 Supermen that showed up. Who's the real Superman? And we got to have adventures with all these Supermen that weren't Superman.
Yep.
But Connor Kent was the DNA of... What was that? That was the Kirby stuff that he did with I can't remember what it's called anymore. The ones with the Forever People or whatever.
Oh, New Gods?
No. The wood place where that Obelix. No, not Obelix. Is that his name? Ubelix?
No, but
you remember that character?
I think so, but with this,
anybody remember that character? It's in the Triangle years. You have to read all that junk.
Yeah, no, it's a lot, but no, so Connor's whole thing, yeah, he's like a splice with like Luthor and all that.
Oh, it's Luthor and Superman. That's right.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's punching, and Superboy Prime is stronger than a clone of Luthor and Kent. Or Superman, and he beats the living shit out of him. And on later on, after all the fighting's been done, they start Cassie. That's the Wonder Girl character, who ain't Diana Prince. That one. She's like lifting up all this debris, and she's like, Connor. And he's like, I saved the world, and she's all, yeah, and he's like, it's cool, right? All right. It was very very, very poignant. I remember deriding this back when it came out. Actually, when it came out, I was like, Jeff Johns, he missed the mark on this series altogether. I don't know how you feel about Infinite Crisis, but having not reread it since those days, I kind of feel still the same way. But that was a really powerful scene. It reminded me of the Crisis on Infinite Earths, Kara dying, the Flash dying, Barry Allen, all really important stuff. And it was a pretty powerful scene.
Oh, definitely.
So now our boy Superboy Prime is like a big old piece of shit.
Yes.
Okay. He had a redemption arc. When was this?
It's like what was it? They did a little bit with it in Final Crisis, right? Because there's a little bit in there with him where it's like he tries to do good again, but his world won't really accept him still because he still committed genocide. So they were kind of like, that's great and all. I'm glad you're a better person, but you're still a monster. So
you're saying like no matter anything, like there's no amount of good deeds that Hitler could have done, right?
I mean, I feel like, yeah, probably. Like, I guess we shouldn't deal with like absolutes, but
right.
I am 99.9% certain.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Phew. I'm glad we have some standards here on this show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. This whole thing is important because it's playing out in Superman right now, and Superboy Prime is a main character. The Time Trapper is a main character, and Doomsday is a main character. All these characters we've talked about in Superboy Prime's evolution as a character.
Yep.
And it all ties in, whether people want to understand this or not, with the absolute universe that more people are reading books of than the regular DC universe right now. What are you digging in the absolute universe right now? Anything?
I do like Wonder Woman. I'm a fan of Hayden Sherman.
Popular one in the store.
Yeah. No, Hayden Sherman's art in particular. I'm not trying to. I'm not knocking Kelly Thompson. It's just that Hayden is so interesting and good with layout. Going back to layouts, I'm a big fan of good layouts, and Hayden's got them. Like, they do really interesting stuff with the page, and I think that, combined with it being a genuinely solid Wonder Woman story, it makes it, for me, sort of the highlight of the line.
Right. I'm getting a lot of love for Martian Manhunter.
Sure.
Superman's got strong selling book, and I've upped my numbers finally on Batman.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm super excited. We've got this KO event coming up. King Omega, who's going to be crowned? It looks like it's all laid out for Superman to win this thing. Have you seen any of this?
I'm aware of some of that's going on.
Did you know that a channel that we have been on before is doing a promotion where you can win PayPal money or gift certificates from something?
Oh, wow.
Wes over at Thinking Critical, all you have to do is be a member of their Patreon. You can be a member of our Patreon, but we're not doing anything like that. I hear there are comic stores that are having a little, Sweet 16 tournament NCAA type thing going on with the list. I'd be remiss if I didn't show it. Of course, I didn't put it up here. Let's see if I can find it without looking. Ah, damn it. Let's see if it's any one of these. Oh, I asked an AI to see if they could do Joe Corallo pondering Superboy Prime.
Okay.
And this is the picture I got. I want to see what you think about this.
Okay.
What do you think about it?
I mean, I think here's the thing. I have a better hairline than that.
Yeah, oh, for sure. How dare they do this to you?
And yeah,
I think it's some bullshit. But I didn't have a picture of you pondering. Oh no, I think I do actually. I just wanted to do that. Here is the list of all the people that you can choose. And I don't know. I mean, you kind of look for the Magic guy. Luther's probably going to be up against him in the quarterfinals or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But maybe Batman, if he has a week to prepare, he can do something. Obviously, there can be kryptonite, and I just don't know. It seems a whole bunch of silly stuff, and also very reminiscent of X-Men versus Avengers, which came out pretty much when I opened up as a store, and it was very popular. And we had a hey, guess who is going to win? Who do you think would win? And who everybody thought would win in a fight? Because we had to make our own brackets. They all thought Doctor Strange was the end result. Doctor Strange was the winner. And this is before all the Marvel all the Marvel movies. But I don't know, man. Summer of Superman. Is there any reason to suggest anybody other than Superman's going to win this thing?
Well, I mean, I don't know. You go for an upset or something like that. But yeah, I mean, also, I'm not complaining because I'm a big Wonder Woman fan, but like, pretty bold to have Cheetah and Giganta.
Yeah.
Like that's you know, I think it's cool. But yeah, wow.
Yeah, I know. Superman's going to waste Giganta, right? I mean, there's no problem there.
Yeah, like I do feel bad, but no, like yeah, some of these you're just a little like Guy Gardner Firestorm feels like a fair fight, but Giganta Superman does not.
Yeah.
What Wonder Woman Starro sounds pretty fair, I think.
Huh. Yeah.
You know?
I gotta say that I've always said, you know, when we'd be on critical thinking or thinking critical, comics aficionados, there would be people that would super chat, hey, let's talk about a fight. You know, who would win in a fight like this? And originally, because, you know, I've answered this in the comic store many a time, these are not conversations I am very comfortable with.
Yeah.
So seeing people suggest that, wow, we're finally going to get these things that we've always wanted to see, I don't know if I've ever really wanted to see that. Do you?
No, I mean, I guess could be interesting. We'll see how it goes. I'm curious how it plays out. I'm curious if this all leads to a rebirth, New 52, sort of wipe the slate clean situation.
What are they going to do if they're all absolute characters are more popular than the regular ones? I mean, this is something that people were fearful of back in the first Ultimate days with Marvel and Ultimate Universe.
Yeah, and I mean, rightfully so for a hot minute there. Like that was definitely the case, but yeah, because like ultimately, like, what do you do? I'm sure there are other options, but like, what do you do if you go through all of this? You have the one hero fight, like super dark side, and then like, and if they win, it's like, what else is left for this universe to do other than wipe the slate clean and you know, start over?
Are they making the same mistake that they made all the way back in the 80s with Crisis? I mean, is this just, I mean, am I reading too much into it? Is this, you know?
Yeah, I mean, but like, it could go in all sorts of different directions, right? Like, you could get an upset winner. Like, I don't know, Guy Gardner wins because you know they're pushing him a bit with the James Gunn universe too, and the Lanterns show and all that. So it's like, hey, let's do a bit of a shocker, and like, I don't know, then what if Guy then beats Darkseid? What if he doesn't? What if someone else, you know,
We're
fights
gonna
Darkseid?
see, not unlike the George Reeves Superman affecting the comic books that we're going to be reading, just because it's something that's going to be on a cartoon that James Gunn's involved with. Man.
But
what a future we got to look forward to.
But another thing that DC's done before, which is also very possible, is the time jump. They beat Darkseid, and now let's look at the world a year later or 5 years later.
1 year later. That was 1 year later was pretty exciting back then. I got to admit. Yeah. It's just, we're always want change in our characters, but we don't really want change in our character. We want it to be the same. And it's like only certain times are we upset that things aren't the way they always have been.
Yeah.
And then you're Superboy Prime getting upset when they are changed.
Yeah.
Can you win?
What's your
what are you excited to be writing at Marvel or DC these days?
I mean,
what would be your book?
You know, I mean, I think we've probably touched on this before, but Legion would definitely be something I would want.
Can Legion come back ever?
I think it can, but you just have to kind of be like, fuck it, it's the future, and like don't connect it too much with like. I think you just have to untether it to the current continuity. Like you can hint at things from the past, but like I think Legion really soars when it's doing its own thing. Like, you know, you look at the stuff that Paul did, you know, the Great Darkness saga was cool and stuck around because it was the exception to the rule, not because they were constantly fighting villains from the past. Not because, oh, and now Raja Ghul's going to show up. Oh, now
that was cool though. I did like the Raja Ghul, but then it was like, don't ever do it again.
Yeah,
like you've done it twice now. Don't ever do it again.
Yeah, you know, because you could go back and forth. All these, you know, they could be fighting Ares. They could be fighting Vandal Savage. You could just keep that going forever. And it's like you kind of got to let the Legion be its own thing, and you do a little bit of that, but like very little. And it's like, you know, have them deal with their own villains. Have them dealing with Universo and the Fatal Five and Dr. Regulus and Starfinger.
They got a ton of characters. I mean,
yeah.
I think if you can't get a superstar to work on the book, I think you need to get somebody that just cares about the book.
Yeah.
And I also don't think that there's any real superstars out there these days like there used to be. Maybe a Daniel Warren Johnson, but he has to be drawing for it to be that important, you know?
Yeah.
And even then, I'm not sure if he's Legion material. There's very few people. I agree. You that or Punisher for you, buddy. That's what I'm. If I was your agent, I'd be. We need to get this guy, or maybe. Oh, you know, I know you got that Dazzler bit. We'll do a Kick-Ass Punisher, but you got to give us the Dazzler mini. That's what I'd say.
I would love Punisher and Captain America are two things I would love to do at like Marvel.
Ooh, Captain America.
Yeah,
Captain America. It needs to be done by an American. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know, right? But you know, but I mean, you know, sort of you know, beyond all that, you know, the joke for people that don't know is Chip Zdarsky's Canadian and he's writing.
Oh yeah, that's right.
America right now.
I thought people might know.
Yeah, that's the joke if people like it. But with Cap though, I think again, like I'd like to see more stories where it's just moving forward. Like I think there's a lot of reflection on what is America and this and that. But like you go back and you read like Silver Age and Bronze Age, like Captain America, it's like sometimes Cap's just punching a giant spider.
Yeah.
Like that's okay. He can be fighting a mummy. It's all right. Like let him do these other things. And you can do these like sort of deeper stories. I mean, Steve Englehart did too in the 70s with the original Secret Empire. It's not that you don't ever do political thriller stories with Cap. It would just be nice to, it's like, you know what, it's okay for him to fight, you know, Baron Blood for a couple of issues. It's, you don't have to have it be a reflection on the current state of the world and all of that all the time.
Yeah, he doesn't have to be fighting some landlord.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be all the time. It's like, yes, that did happen in the past, but like fighting a landlord would be like a B plot or C plot that lasts 2 issues.
Yeah.
And so it's like you do that stuff, but you're also dealing with the power broker and these other characters or oh god, what was the
Serpent Society?
Yeah, well, yeah, you know those.
They went all corporate too.
Yeah, you know, there's so many.
What it was.
But like,
that's why I need
yeah.
help remembering of this stuff, because there's just so much of this garbage
No,
floating
there's
around in my head. We didn't even
so
talk
much.
about 0 Hour, the failed attempt to fix Crisis, but that'll be
Yeah,
another day.
no, for sure. Yeah, well, we could do that another day. But yeah, I'm trying to think. I have so much Cap right next to. I've got like
Really.
I have the Epic collections, like starting from the John Byrne, Roger Stern, all the way to the end of the Grunwald stuff, and then I have the Mark Waid and Dan Jurgens omnibuses. So I've got, and I have the 2 masterworks that collect everything between the like 3rd Jack Kirby run and John Byrne. So I've got like a good like 300 straight issues Cap collected.
I'm a Stern and Byrne Captain America guy, and then I'm a Mark Waid. Well, Ed Brubaker, obviously, but
yeah, sure.
Mark Waid before Rob Liefeld's company got involved. Image. Mark Waid and Ron Garney were killing it, and that was like number 3 for me right there.
Yeah,
just when they came back, not good. It's like,
yeah, but you also get
can't go back home again. Is what that means.
Yeah, the J.M. DeMatteis stuff was fun too.
Yeah, for sure.
All the Mike Zeck art, like just
he's great.
Yeah. So some really good stuff going on. But yeah, like those are all things I had.
I love that 8 Ball you have behind you. What's behind 8 Ball? What's after 8 Ball?
Hate.
Oh, Hate. I have that. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. They're putting those out in soft covers now. Yeah.
Cool. I just, you know what? I finally read Clyde Fans.
Oh, I have not read all of that.
I read all of it. It's so good.
Okay, I'll tell you something. This is something that's not going to be on the best of last week. The Wait by Melissa Mendez. Do you know this book?
I'm not sure if I do.
It's a Drawn a Quarterly book.
Okay. No, I like that stuff.
I've read 4 chapters on that so far, and it's fucking powerful. It's
nice.
It's amazing. And there's a full birth shot.
Amazing.
In the very beginning, I'm like, oh my god, we're going there. But that was really good. Joe, thanks for talking about Superboy Prime. You're welcome to stick around, but you're not obligated to. Where can we see you next? And I don't know. Tell me I'll put it down in content or in the comments, but where can we reach you if we want to get a copy of your book? What was it called again?
Sure. Sink to the Top. And the best way is probably Instagram. I'm at Corallo Joe on Instagram. You can you can follow me on there, DM me there. Like that's the easiest one for me to get a hold of that sort of stuff. But yeah, I mean, that's the primary thing I'm working on right now, getting that out. I'm in the middle of working on 3 other things. At least 2 of those things will be out next year. So yeah, I'm working on a bunch of stuff. I'm editing a YA graphic novel that should hopefully be out end of next year too. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to some of the stuff I got moving along. I have at least one other thing that's supposed to be out in 2027 as well. That's what happens after a while.
2027.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hopefully there's a baseball strike going on, so I have time to read some comic books.
There you go.
I think that's 27. It's going to happen. You want to stick around or you want to take off?
Well, I could stick around a little longer. How much longer you
No. Take off. Thank you for joining us. I really appreciate it. I'm going to clip this, and then I'll have a Superboy little special that'll be basically this whole thing.
All right, cool.
All right, man. I'll talk to you later.
Yep, sounds good.
Right,
Thanks, everyone.
Yep, bye. All right, let me go to comments really quick. Let's see here. Spider Guy was good, y'all. Congrats, Joe, on a successful campaign. That's right. Hickman ended the 7th Marvel Universe according to the new issue of the Avengers. All right. What? But the X-Men are hooking up all the time. They totally are. Hayden Sherman's art got better after the first arc on Absolute Wonder Woman. I hadn't read any of them, but wow, his work on Dark Patterns people were really liking. And some of those covers that he was doing on Wonder Woman were pretty darn good. Absolute Wonder Woman and Martian Manhunter are my faves so far. Give the win to Starro. That's right. You kids love these type of events. My son asked me who beat who all the time. He asked me if Superman can beat One Punch Man. Well, One Punch Man ain't canon, right? when Starro isn't on screen, everybody should be asking, "Where's Star? Where's Poochie?" I have a Poochie right over here on my my shelf right here. Do I have a picture of that? Let me see. I had them up here for like the longest time, but now I don't. Just for that situation. Spider Guy. Young kids love these types of events. My son and his friends ask who can beat who all the time. Can any DC character beat One Punch Man? Yeah, all right, got that. I trust Scott Snyder not to shit the bed by making it dance off like X's swords. Oh my God, I love the lore. There's no way any of that can happen. He did a interview, Scott Snyder, with Casually Comics. It's that lady that makes a shit ton of views, not like this channel. And he's talking good about it. And you know what? Wes is reporting on that and saying good stuff also. Ooh, what is Joe's Punisher pitch? I didn't say he had one. I just think he'd do a really good one. Cap was good in Secret Avengers. It started with Ennis and ended with Remender. Ellis, you mean? That's okay. We always said Garth Ellis anyway. All right. Let's talk about best comics of last week really quick. Just really quick, we're going to do it. Let's see. Best of the week, 5. First up, we have Doctor Strange. Not from a customer Dane, a good book, but it sold well. And people were liking Doctor Strange of Asgard, so it's just a one-shot. What are you going to do? Star Wars Han Solo, Hunt for the Falcon, sold really well. I guess people like chubby Han Solo and Lando Calrissian. Absolute Green Lantern number 6. Why, I've been cutting my numbers, but I cut a little too deep. So I've had to reorder this. Glad to know some people enjoy this book. The Amazing Spider-Man number 11 or 975. This cover is not available anymore for reorder. But I got plenty of the alternates anyway, and I've reordered some. It's a little extra priced, but all the stories are written by Joe Kelly, John Romita Jr., and Pepe Larraz on art mostly. Great stuff. And, I don't have the picture here. Let me see if I have a copy right here. I did, but well, I just want to tell you about the book that was so good. I guess I don't need a picture for it. It was Batman number 1 by Matt Fraction and Jorge Jimenez. George Jimenez, someone called him. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Batman number 1 sold so well. It had people that I had never seen before coming in asking about it. How did this happen? I heard there were commercials in places. I have seen commercials for other things that aren't comic book related. Well, comic book related, yes, but not comic books. I guess it's just whatever your algorithm tries to sell to you. Batman number 1 by Matt Fraction and Jorge Jimenez did really, really well for me. I still have copies. I still have some of the alternates. Come on in and get it. It seems people are really enjoying it. I have yet to read it, but you know how I am about Batman. And let's get over to this one.
Why, we sell a dozen a day in this price range.
Who buys them? Tax collectors?
Even if I had to pay, it would be worth it. Just for the occasion.
What, something big going on somewhere?
What's going on right here? It's a big night.
Well, it's just an old run-of-the-mill Wednesday. Well, the calendar's full of them.
That's right. The calendar's full of them, and I'm going to share some of them with you right now. There are a plethora of graphic novels, including Spectators by Nico Hendrich on art and Brian K. Vaughan on writing. It's very adult. So you 17-year-olds that think you're being edgy, come on in and get them. First up, we have Aquaman number 9, Return to the Justice League. Yes, finally. Redcoat number 14. Oh, good news, everybody that's been wondering about Rook. New issue has been solicited. But I know you all are really enjoying Redcoat also. So rejoice. Imperial War Nova Centurion. Don't worry, just because Jonathan Hickman's name is the second name writing this book, Jed McKay's is the first, and you know you love Nova. Red Hulk number 8. This has been a pretty darn solid series for me. I've only read the first 2 issues. We've sold out of so many, I don't have any more to read. I'm going to have to get the collection, just like you. Unless you're caught up with it, which you should be, because the same creators are working on 8 straight issues. Green Lantern Corps number 8. Well, number 7 was a sellout, but I warned you. And it's part 4 of the Starbreaker Supremacy storyline. And, well, this one is. I've got more 7s. Don't worry, I got you hooked up. Come on in and get it. You know you like Jeremy Adams. You know you like Green Lantern. It's good stuff. You should pick it up, along with Aquaman. Red Hood number 1. Well, I don't know who Felker Martin is, or Jeff Spokes, although I think I do know that name. Regardless, there's a brand new Red Hood coming out. It's here. It's ready for you. There's multiple covers. Yeah, it looks like it's got Huntress. That's pretty hot. Supergirl number 5. Got Super Pets in it. That's cute. Supergirl and Super Pets. That works. I like it. Superman, the Kryptonite Spectrum. Why, Joe showed us number 1, signed by W. Maxwell Prince. These ones are not. Neither is Martin Morazzo writing on the book. But he's drawing the book, and it looks really cool. Have yet to read the first issue entirely. It's odd, or at least it looks odd. It's different. It's different. And I like it when mainstream characters are done differently. I'm really looking forward to sitting down with this. Oh, the aforementioned Batman Dark Patterns, number 10 of 12. This is a brand new storyline. Get on it. Or just trade weight like I am. Everybody's saying Dan Waters and Hayden Sherman are doing excellent work on this book. Great covers. I think I will get this collection when it comes out. And I'm going to happily read it because Dan Waters is doing some good stuff on Nightwing. One World Under Doom, number 7 comes out. Only 2 more issues. I like to see that Reed Richards is looking better than he did in the last issue. The Punisher number 1. This is a Red Band comic. You've got to cut open the bag in order to read the book. Benjamin Percy and Julius Oda on art. I've already thumbed through the book and read some of the pages, and I actually enjoy what I'm seeing. There's no cursing that I could see, but there's a lot of violence, a lot of torture, and some real nasty situations. By the end of the book, you kind of see what's going on, and I am looking forward to more. Good first issue. Conan the Barbarian. This is a Dan Panosian drawn cover. This is the main cover. Pretty awesome. And what else do you want more than a 25-pack, a bull-headed Cimmerian with a crazy sword and a loincloth and boots, walking down the steps of a dungeon? Is that a tentacle that something is killed? I don't even know. Love it. Great cover. Jim Zub writing. Good stuff. Captain America #3. Yeah, don't listen to anything I said about Canadians writing Captain America. Valerio Schiti on art. Good stuff. All right, here's a cigarette book. One of the only miniseries that I have up here. Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion. It put it right in front of Spider-Man. Ultimate Spider-Man. It says Ultimate Spider-Man. Well, thank goodness Miles Morales has a sword when he's going up against the Ultimate Ilyana. Action Comics is a cigarette book. I can't deny that it's selling well. Cool cover. I'm behind on it. I endeavor to read the book. I have yet to. Ultimate Wolverine #9. I'm not really reading Ultimate other books other than Spider-Man, really, these days. People are enjoying this. I appreciate that. Just like I appreciate a book that I said I'm increasing the numbers of, and that is Absolute Batman #12. Boy, people are coming in that I haven't seen in the store before, and I knew I had to up my numbers, and I did. And I want to let you know. Lunar let me down. I was just shorted a few. I'm sure I'll be getting them in before I sell out. But should I understand that I have increased my orders? This book right here, Absolute Batman #12. 12 issues in and I'm upping my numbers. Can you imagine? Great stuff. And I'm looking forward to the whole KO bit that's going on with DC King Omega. I'm looking forward to seeing how things are going. There were a few books that you might have expected to see on the list. I don't have them yet, but they're coming in. Now stay tuned. That's right. It's almost the end of the show. In fact, it is the end of the show. I just wanted to thank everybody for joining us. I want to thank all our patrons for providing us with the funds available so that to be made available so that we can do things like purchase things for people, for contests that I may have screwed up on an order of that I had to get. Maybe possibly the service that we're using right now. Maybe possibly a bill or two. Nonetheless, thank you very much. You are all seen, and if you aren't, be a patron. Don't expect much, but you're definitely getting this segment. Thank you. You're seen.
You know, my last name is Costanza. That's Italian. So you and I are kind of like countrymen. Huh? Paisanos!
650 you change.
Ah, yes. And I always take care of my paisanos. So here's a little something.
Antonio!
Si!
Vieni qua! Questa miserabile patrone!
It was nice to have a good mainline Batman book for a change. Like to hear that. Also, I'm surprised they didn't pulp Red Hood or put it digitally after all the writers' tweets got leaked. Uh-oh. Conan isn't getting near enough on level in line. It's getting enough love in my store. 2 books are cigarette books. You see all the stuff behind me that's Marvel and DC and 1 Image book in Transformers. You will love Blood Squad 7. Oh yeah, that comes out tomorrow. You will love Blood Squad 7. I don't even put it in the cigarette books. Conan does. Yule loves Conan. So do you. And I agree. It needs more love. Jim Zub needs more love. The artists working on the book need more love. Savage Sword needs more love. We need to appreciate and purchase the things that we like so that they buy more. A thought. Thank you for joining us. It ran a little long. I hope you learned something today. And if you didn't learn enough, come on in and get Superman 28 and 29. I've got you. I'm the hookup for those books. I'm the hookup for those books. Thank you. See you next week.
Gentlemen, this hand definitely does not count. Here, you take it all. I mean, what is... Well, everything's fair, and I'll be content with the leavings. You mind if I just hang on to it?
You always been gutless?
Yeah, I think so. Well, for as long as I can remember, at any rate. You know, my old pappy always used to say, he who fights and runs away can run away another day.
What? Look, I don't see what's so great about it. Hey, whoa, son, there. Just slow down there.
Where's the fire, son? I mean, slow down. Don't shoot me, okay? I'm just trying to expound. I was just saying, I don't see what's so great about being brave. I mean, I'm a card player. You know, I play cards, and you call me a gambler. I want to become an old gambler. You, on the other hand, are a gunfighter. And an exceptional one at that, from what I hear. So if I decided to go up against you, I mean, what chance would I have had? Answer? 0. Absolutely none whatsoever. Want to see it again? Whoop. Damn thing won't stay in the holster. Whoop. I'm putting a spring in there. Oh, come on, kid. Let's just play poker. Who here wants to play poker?
Hell yeah.
Who wants to see some guy get killed? No. Let's play poker. I'd rather be rich than dead, you know.
Was that fast? I thought that was fast. Was it fast? Was it?
Yeah,